Hi everyone, in this video we're going to focus on implementing supporting points and supporting details into our body paragraphs. Now I've talked about this a little bit in previous lessons, but or rather I've talked about implementing supporting points and supporting details in larger conversations about body paragraphs, but in this particular lesson we're going to focus solely on implementing supporting points and details or implementing evidence into our body paragraphs. And as I've said in previous videos, this supporting details, supporting points, evidence, like that is so important. Because if you don't have solid supporting points and details and evidence, then your topic sentence becomes pointless and your thesis statement becomes pointless, okay? Because your supporting points and supporting details support your topic sentences and your thesis statement. So let's run down this list really quick. So adding supporting points and details into your body paragraphs. First, you can use your topic sentence and or your thesis statement to figure out what your supporting points should be. So if your thesis statement is cats are better than dogs because cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs, cats don't need as much attention as dogs, and cats are friendlier than dogs. Okay, so those would be your three supporting points in your thesis statement. So then you can take those supporting points, so your first supporting point in your thesis statement would be cats are better than dogs because cats are less expensive to take care of. That then becomes your topic sentence. Okay, so your first body paragraph will be about how cats are better than dogs because cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs. And then your supporting points and details will be different pieces of evidence that prove cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs. And then your second body paragraph will be the topic sentence for your second body paragraph will be cats are better than dogs because cats require less attention. And then your supporting points and details in your body paragraph will be examples or evidence that supports the notion that cats require less attention than dogs and thus are better than dogs. Okay, so you see like the pattern we're going with here. Your thesis statement, the points of support in your thesis statement inform the topic sentence for each body paragraph. And then the topic sentence for each body paragraph will inform what sorts of supporting points and details you implement into your body paragraph. So next, make sure your supporting points directly relate to and support your topic sentence or thesis statement. So again, if your whole essay is about why cats are better than dogs, don't write about why cats are better than birds too. Okay? Focus on cats are better than dogs throughout your whole essay. Now, if in your first body paragraph, your topic sentence says cats are better than dogs because cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs, you've only write about that in your first body paragraph. Don't write about how, they, in the same body paragraph, don't also write about how, cats are better than dogs because they require less attention. Okay? You treat each paragraph like its own entity, like its own little world, okay? Then from there, once you have your supporting points, think of details that can further explain your supporting points. So that's like, again, where the evidence comes in. So how are you going to prove that cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs? So you could say like, if you have a short-haired cat, you don't have to take that cat to get groomed. Or you don't have to bathe cats, which means you save money on bathing products that you would have to spend money on for dogs. Or cats generally eat less than dogs or something like that. Okay, so that's where like those supporting points and details come in. And then make your paragraph organized by keeping together similar supporting points and details. So this just goes back to, if you're writing about why cats are better than dogs because cats are cheaper to take care of than dogs, stick with that, okay? And if you're going to write about like, oh, cats are less expensive to take care of than dogs because they don't require the type of grooming products that a dog does, then stick to writing about that point until you're done. Don't write about grooming and food and then grooming, okay? Keep all of the similar things together, all right? Something I noticed in the paragraphs about the penny debate, people would talk about like, oh, we should keep the penny because Abraham Lincoln is on it. And then they would write about, oh, we should keep the penny because of, like, what was it? Because of penny charities. And then they would write about, like, Abraham Lincoln again. Like, you finish writing about each point before you move on to another one, okay? So back to our trusty paragraph on global warming. Okay, I love this paragraph. So you'll see it a lot. We're almost done with the lessons here. We're about halfway through, so you won't see it that much more. But this is such a wonderful example of like what your paragraphs, particularly for this class, should look like. So we have our topic sentence here. There are several changes that average Americans can make to lower their carbon footprints. Again, you don't lay out the supporting points in this topic sentence because they're coming. Because you let your reader know that you're going to delve into this deeper by saying there are several changes. Okay, keep your topic sentence broad, all right? So that way you can spend time fleshing it out. So, again, we have our topic sentence. There are several changes that average Americans can make to lower their carbon footprints. Now we have to come up with our supporting points. How are we going to prove to our audience that there are indeed several changes that average Americans can make to lower their carbon footprints? So that means we need to come up with 3 changes average Americans can make, okay? So you could kind of do something similar to this, like when you're writing your essays in NROT. Like, I highly recommend having pencil and paper by you so that you can draft out outlines, or just like write bullet points. And we'll talk more about outlining in a couple of lessons, but like this is something that you can do. Like if you're still working on your penny debate essay, you can write, okay, so there are several reasons why we should keep the penny in circulation. And then below that, write 1 point of support. And then write a second one and a third one, just like you see here on your screen. Okay, and then from here, from these 3 points, you will then like develop that a little bit more. All right, but here, this way you can keep your paragraph organized. You're like, okay, I'm going to write about reducing, reusing, and recycling. And then I'll move on to public transportation. And then I'll talk about alternative energy sources. So this helps you stay organized, and like then you become less confused and you keep your reader from becoming confused. So, and then as you can see here, highlighted in yellow, we have our topic sentence, and then highlighted in this turquoise, we have each supporting point, okay? So basically all you have to do is just take these supporting points you see on your screen and plug them into a complete sentence, right? And then you have to add those supporting details, meaning you need to add the analysis. So in the previous lesson, I think it was, we talked about the meal plan, evidence and analysis. So these supporting points, this is your evidence. Now you have to implement analysis. So the analysis, those are these just the black font in between the turquoise highlights, okay? So the first change they can make is to reduce, reuse, and recycle as often as possible. And then you need to explain and analyze how reducing, reusing, and recycling as often as possible can reduce the average American's carbon footprint. And we have the same thing happening here and here. Okay, because you can't just have this, the turquoise. Okay, you need to have what comes in between. Otherwise, your argument is flimsy. And then you can see here, like I highlighted in the dark green, the supporting details. All right. So to kind of break it down, you have your topic sentence. Make sure your topic sentence is sufficiently broad, meaning the several changes. Okay, we're not listing those supporting points right away. So there are several changes that average Americans can make to lower their carbon footprints. And then the supporting points are the changes. So we have reducing, reusing, recycling, public transportation, and alternative energy sources. And then the supporting details are highlighted in the dark green, and that's where you have the analysis of your evidence. Okay, so supporting points are your evidence, and then the supporting details are that's the analysis of your evidence. Okay, you can't just delete or keep out what's in dark green. Okay, that's super, super important to developing your argument. Okay, so like when you're in NROC, especially in the earlier units, and it asks you to type in supporting sentences, everything from the first change to, so everything from like the first change here to emissions they cause, like that's what you would write about. That's where you would write all of this, okay? So that's why it's important sometimes to have like that scrap sheet of paper on the side where you can write down your supporting points, and then below those supporting points, write the details. So you can break it down even further than what NROC does for you. So here I have kind of like an outline breakdown of what your paragraphs are going to look like for NROC. Now, it's going to vary. Like the further you get into the units, the more detailed and the longer your essays become. So instead of writing a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, you're just going to start writing like 5-paragraph essays, like more traditional essays. So that's why I have here topic sentence or thesis statement, because sometimes NROC, like in Unit 2 for the second body paragraph, where it's your response, that's where they ask you for a thesis statement, but like really technically it's a topic sentence, okay? Because the thesis statement is the last sentence in your introductory paragraph, but so you kind of have to like mold this to where you are in the units and like what NROC is asking you to do. But if we're just looking at like one paragraph, like let's just say our essay is going to be a single paragraph. I mean, you could still use this. Actually, scratch what I said. If your essay is going to be one paragraph, like if your essay is going to be one paragraph, then NROC will more than likely label your topic sentence here as a thesis statement. But if you're thinking of just body paragraphs, think of it as the topic sentence. And then sometimes you may not need this introductory sentence. Again, it depends on what NROC is asking of you and where you are in the units. So this isn't like hard and fast, all right, like these labels here. But let me go through this. So you'll have for your body paragraph, you'll have your introductory sentence or sentences where you name the author of the article, the title of the article, the topic of the article, and the purpose of the article. And then you have your topic sentence, which is the topic of your paragraph and the point or claim you're making about that topic. So that's where the argument comes in. And then you have your supporting sentences. So come up with 2 to 3 points that support your topic sentence or thesis statement. Come up with 1 to 3 sentences that explain how and why each of your points supports your topic sentence or thesis statement. This is like what I really want to focus on with this particular slide, because as I mentioned in a previous lesson, sometimes folks will just write like one supporting sentence because they just want to like be done. But you need to have at least 2 or 3 points that support 2 or 3 points of support in your body paragraph. And then, so that would be like one sentence. So each point of support would be like one sentence. So that's 2 to 3 sentences. And then the supporting details, that's going to be 1 to 3 sentences, okay? So really, if we're counting here, your body paragraph should be about 1 to... Okay, sorry for that awkward pause there. One of my cats just had surgery and was trying to pick the staples from her stomach. So let me start that again. So a body paragraph, it needs to be a particular length. So let's look at this. So if you have an introductory sentence, that's 1 sentence. A topic sentence, that's another sentence there, so that's 2. And then if you have 2 to 3 points of support, you're going to have 4 to 5 sentences there. And then each point of support is going to be between 1 and 3 sentences. So that, like, your body paragraphs should, and then with your concluding sentence, like your body paragraphs, or any paragraph you write, whether it's like introductory or a concluding paragraph or a body paragraph, they need to be, especially as you go further along, like between like 6 and 10 sentences. But, you know, don't like cut it off at that point, though, to say like, oh, I have like 6 sentences, I'm done. You need to make sure you're fully developing your point, okay? So, and I do want you to really focus on your topic sentences and your thesis statements being 1 sentence, okay? So when you're writing in those boxes, I want you to focus on making your topic sentence a single sentence. Sometimes it's easier grammatically for you to break your introductory sentence into like 2 sentences, and that's fine. But people tend to get carried away and get too detailed with the topic sentence and thesis statement and making it too long. So I really want you to focus on making that 1 sentence, on each of those 1 sentence, okay? So I hope like this count makes sense. And I didn't confuse you with this topic sentence or thesis statement. I get kind of tripped up with the way NROC breaks things down, especially earlier on in the essays before you start writing like more traditional essays. Like starting in Unit 4, your essays they're going to be like true essays, not just like a few paragraphs here and there, okay? So this will probably make more sense then, but at this point in the semester, it's usually people are either very early on where they're writing only 1 or 2 paragraph essays, or they're like writing like the 5 paragraph essays. So I do try to like accommodate the multiple places and spaces that people are occupying. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this particular slide, please let me know. Again, it's just, nothing is fixed, okay? So especially with these units, and especially since people are in so many different places, like especially now at this point in the semester, I have people in Unit 1, I have people in Unit 2, I have someone in Unit 3, 5, and 4, so Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, yeah, I have people in the first 6 units. So we're all in different places and spaces, and you just use this to accommodate the space that you are currently in, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know. Really just like use this paragraph as an example, okay? Because I think it does a really great job of doing what y'all are currently doing in NROG. Even if you're in like a later unit, you may not necessarily be including an introductory sentence like this, where you mention the author's name and the title of the article, but you are certainly inserting like topic sentence and like these supporting points and details. and the concluding sentence. Okay, so just keep this in your writer's toolbox, okay, because it is super important. All right, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, please don't hesitate to reach out, and good luck.